How are you? I'm Max, and today we're going to be talking about the chaparral biome. We are studying three different parts of the chaparral biome. You have the botanist, the zoologist, and the conservationist. Today, I'm going to be the botanist in the group. We're talking about the chaparral biome. The botanist talks about all the different vegetations and about all the different species of plants, and that's what I'm going to be talking about today, and how these plants adapt to their wildlife and how they adapt to the biome that they're in, which is chaparral. Can you believe that there's over 2,000 different types of species of plants just in the chaparral biome by itself? The thing about the chaparral biome is that it is such a dry and barely no rain comes, and plants need rain and they need water. So it's like very hard for the plants to like grow sometimes because of how less water it is and how dry the climate is. The next plant I'm going to be talking about is called the chamise plant. The chamise plant is one of the most common plants in the chaparral biome. It grows everywhere. It grows on mountaintops and it grows on the floor. It goes everywhere. It's one of the most common plants. Something else about the chamise plant is that it is also a pretty dry plant. It is a dry plant because of the biome. The biome is very, very dry and it gets almost little to no water. The thing about the plant is it stores a lot of water because it knows that there's not too much water. The next thing about the chamise plant is that it's usually about 12 feet. The plant I'm going to be talking about is called the toyo plant. The toyo plant is found throughout the western part of California and in a place called Sierra Foothills. It is also in the chaparral biome. The toyo plant is considered a berry plant. The plant is also very edible. It's a red berry that you can eat. The toyo plant is considered and called the Christmas berry because of how it looks. This plant does not need a lot of water. It usually stores a lot of water, and that's good that it doesn't need too much water because it is in the chaparral biome, and the chaparral biome doesn't produce more than 25 centimeters of water per year. This plant is really good for the animals too in the chaparral biome because of how many animals go to this plant. For instance, you have butterflies and lots of other wild birds that go onto this plant and eat. This plant adapts really, really well to the biome because of how thick its leaves are. This helps with the plant because of how healthy it makes the plant and how much it makes it look so green and beautiful. The plant that we are going to be talking about is called the black sage plant. This black sage plant is found in the chaparral biome, and it is found throughout central and southern California. Also, it's found in northern Baja. This plant is a type of shrub, there's a lot of shrubs in the chaparral biome, and it is very, very, very common to find there. The black sage plant is also a plant that stores water. This plant stores a lot of water when it rains, and their leaves tend to get bigger, and during the dry times of the chaparral biome, their leaves tend to get smaller because it becomes dehydrated. This plant can get up to about 6 feet tall when the plant becomes mature, and the stem and the leaves during the winter start to look black, as it is called the black sage plant. The black sage plant also has a very minty scent and smell, and it also produces sort of a peppery honey due to its nectar and so many bees coming on there and living there, so it can produce honey. Unfortunately, the black sage plant is starting to become extinct due to the loss of its habitat in the chaparral biome. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and that will be it for the chaparral biome and the botanist part.
Hey guys, it's Jack Prada. I'm the zoologist of the group, and my job is to keep track of the animals in the chaparral biome. In this little video, I'm going to show you how important the animals are to the chaparral biome and why they are needed, how they are conditioned to live there, and why it is such a good habitat for them. So, the first animal that we'll be talking about that lives in the chaparral biome is the jackrabbit. Now, the jackrabbit is actually one of my favorite animals because of its name, of course. But here's why the jackrabbit is able to live in the chaparral biome. The soles of a jackrabbit's feet are covered in fur, and it's like cushions against the scorching hot sands of the chaparral because it's just a dry, inclement weather. It's very harsh conditions. Their fur is a silver and tan color, and it blends in well with the desert sand. Like I said, that will definitely help them out in the long run with the scorching hot ground. It helps with the habitat it lives in because, like I said, it blends in and it cushions it from the heat. And yeah, we will be noticing a lot more animals have this same feature on them. And yeah, that's it. The next animal we will be talking about is the ladybug. This is surprising to me, personally, even though I'm a zoologist. But it is because you'd think a small little ladybug wouldn't be able to, survive in such harsh, rough conditions, right? But surprisingly, the ladybug is very tolerant to high temperatures and rough droughts. That's what it's known for, actually. This is ideal for the arid environment of the chaparral biome. The ladybug actually has wings, and those wings are like they're like shields for them, like four wings that allow it to live under shade or loose bark, and this helps it avoid the rough and dry and hot conditions of the chaparral biome. This is unique from all the other different animals in the chaparral biome because the other ones are more like land animals and they like to run around. The ladybug flies, and I think that's pretty cool about the ladybug. The next animal we will be talking about is the mule deer. Of course, the mule deer lives in the chaparral biome, and these deer adapt to living in the desert very easily, and they thrive in it actually. They're like your average deer, and they have fur, and they walk on all fours, different from the ladybug, like I said earlier. And these deer adapt to living in the desert by being active in the warm weather at night, and they're also active in the warm weather during the early morning hours, so like before sunrise or like right during sunrise. They also learned how to adapt to a wide variety of plants. They learned to adapt to like a lot of vegetation on the chaparral biome, which has helped them a lot because without that, then they would have no food besides the prey. And it helps that vegetation and those plants help the mule deer to meet all of their nutritional needs, and it keeps them full, and that's why they are able to thrive in the chaparral biome. So the next, or the final last animal we will be talking about is the alligator lizard, which personally I think sounds really cool. Like alligator, that's cool, and lizard, that's also cool. Like that's sick. But similar to most reptiles, alligator lizards, like they protect themselves with, they have thick skin and rough skin, and they like to use that to protect themselves from the harsh conditions, the scorching hot sand, and the harsh conditions of the chaparral biome. And their big key adaptation is their skin. And yeah, another big adaptation is how well they are allowed to adapt to warm climates because they're cold-blooded. Since they're cold-blooded, that basically means that they need the warmer outside temperatures. They need that to keep their body warmer, and their blood helps them do that, and that's why they're able to sustain a good life in the chaparral biome. That's why they are allowed to adapt and live. That is it from me, and I hope you enjoy what Zander has to say.
Hey class, it's me, Zander, your president, and I'm the conservationist in this group. Today we're going to be talking about the chaparral biomes. The chaparral biome is probably the biggest biome in all of San Diego and also all throughout the Pacific coast of the United States. The chaparral biome stretches all the way from Upper California down into Tijuana. The chaparral biome recently has been hit by a number of and being endangered by a number of things, such as climate change, forest fires, and its species being endangered and threatened by diseases, overpopulation, and low food supplies. For example, some of the species that are being hurt right now is some of the birds and the coyotes. The coyotes, not one of them, are being hunted by all the people who live in this biome because people think that coyotes do all these bad things, like kill animals and hurt all these little pets and their dogs and their babies. But in reality, coyotes are good to the environment. They kill rodents and they kill animals and they kill all these bad stuff that are polluting us, you know? So that's why we need to stop killing them, and that's a big problem. Another plant that is being threatened right now is actually all the plants. All the plants are being harmed right now by the forest fires. The forest fires are being caused by normal people like you and me. They're being caused by people going camping with their family, going on an adventure in the forest, and maybe they want to have a quick little light, little smoke, before they go to bed, and they toss a cigarette butt into the ground. See, if I did that, this could have caught all on fire, and it could have burned this whole environment down. Okay? That's not good. Another reason why the plants are being burned down is because of the campfires. When you're done camping, maybe you're gonna leave all the campfire, all the dead coals and all the ashes. It's still too hot, it could catch fire. And that's not a good thing. And another thing that doesn't help is the climate change. Because the climate change is making everything so hot, The climate change is making it harder for the rain to come out to put out these fires. And by the time there is rain, the whole forest is already burned down, so there's nothing to put out. And then that's terrible for the environment because the animals are gonna have nowhere to live, and the forest is gonna be burned down, which is terrible. Who wants that? No one wants that. And then a bunch of efforts being made, or people like you and me, It's our job to protect these environments and these biomes. It's our job to, when we're in the forest, we don't throw the cigarette on the floor. We don't leave the campfire still burning. We have to clean up after ourselves and be good, responsible citizens and statesmen. Another thing that we could also do to help stop all these disasters from happening is we could stop contributing to all the carbon in the air. We have to cut down on our carbon emissions and make sure the climate is safer and for all the plants and animals to thrive, because that's the best thing possible. So I would just like to thank you guys for being with us today. And I just want you guys to know, to remember, that this is our home. And we cannot let it die like this. We have to take good care. We have to make sure that we are doing the right thing. And to do that, we have to step up and be good, responsible statesmen. Look at all this natural beauty. Okay? If you want this